Bolts fans, pay close attention because the atmosphere in Los Angeles has simply exploded. The moment of truth has arrived, and the latest information that has just come out is shaking up the Chargers backstage. There's big news, unexpected moves, and a decision that could completely change the course of the season. And I guarantee you haven't seen anything like this on other channels. If you truly live for this blue lightning bolt and believe in the power of the Chargers, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and stay with me, because here you get everything firsthand. Now hold on tight, because what I'm about to reveal today will stir up the fans, take you by surprise, and could transform the future of the Los Angeles Chargers. The team has officially entered emergency mode, and this involves the unexpected return of a starter on offense, the silent emergence of a monster on defense, and even a blockbuster signing that could reshape the entire offensive line for the season. And the most impressive thing, all of this is happening at the same time, at the most decisive moment of the season, with the team still fighting for the playoffs. Let's start with the news that exploded on the internet among fans. Omarian Hampton is officially in the process of returning. According to Mike Garafolo and confirmed by Jim Harbaugh, the Chargers are opening the activation period for Omarian Hampton. This means the team has begun the famous 21-day window to assess whether the running back can return to the active roster, a decision that could completely transform the offense. And why? Because the Chargers' offense collapsed without Hampton. Ladd McConkey, Justin Herbert, the entire passing game, all suffered from the lack of offensive balance. Against the Jaguars, the disaster was total. Only 42 rushing yards in 16 carries. And worse, Justin Herbert was responsible for half of that. 21 yards in just 3 scrambles. This simply cannot happen for a team that wants to reach the playoffs. Now imagine this with Hampton back. Before the injury, the rookie chosen 22nd overall in the draft was tearing it up. 314 rushing yards, 2 touchdowns, 20 receptions for 136 yards, starter for 5 straight weeks, and a constant presence as a dual threat, running back plus receiver. He hasn't played since week 5, and his absence has been quite noticeable. Against Jacksonville, it was clear. The Chargers need Hampton. But hold on, activating the return window doesn't mean he'll play this Sunday. Still, it's the first real sign of hope for an offense that returned completely exhausted from the loss to the Jaguars. And Harbaugh knows this. He revealed to Chargers.com that he gave the team 2 extra days of rest after the hit. The team played 15 weeks straight since training camp. They needed to rest, regroup, and come back ready. All this to face the Raiders, a vulnerable team, but one that loves to make life difficult for the Chargers. Now, the big question. Will Hampton return in time to help in the final stretch? And more. Will the offensive line be able to make room for him? Well, that question will lead us to the next topic. But first, you need to hear what's happening on the other side of the field. While the offense struggles to breathe, facing highs and lows and trying to rediscover its identity, the Chargers' defense is experiencing a completely different situation, and, for the fans, a much more encouraging one. Even amidst turbulence, important losses, and unexpected changes, the defensive sector has begun to reveal something that many people weren't seeing, but which within the organization is already treated as a reality, with constant doubts about Khalil Mack's future and how much he can still deliver at a high level. With Odafe Owe arriving via trade, raising suspicions about the team's performance, and yet something surprising happened. At the center of this scenario, a name quietly slipped under the radar of the national media. But within the Chargers, he's attracting attention like a bomb about to explode in recognition. A player who not only met expectations, but far exceeded them. Tuli Tuipulotu. Yes, him. The 23-year-old, chosen in the second round of the 2023 draft, is building a giant season. A season that many experts simply ignored, but that should be being discussed across the country. Look at these numbers even before the bye week. 8 sacks, leading the team with authority. Just 1 sack below his personal record. 48 quarterback pressures. This puts him tied for 10th place in the NFL, according to Pro Football Focus. And on top of all that, he's become a vocal leader in the locker room. Eric Smith of Chargers.com reinforced exactly that when talking about Tuipulotu's impact. Tuipulotu sets the tone for the defense and has become a more vocal leader. The Bolts will need him looking ahead during the final stretch. And here's the most revealing point of this story. Tuipulotu isn't and never was a natural replacement for Khalil Mack. He didn't become an instant superstar, nor that media-savvy player who solves everything single-handedly. But he became something just as important, a fundamental piece for the future of the defense. defense. A player still evolving, with a very high ceiling. A solid starter in a defense that is in full rebuilding mode. And now, with Owe by his side, he potentially forms one of the most physical and aggressive duos in the AFC West. Imagine for a moment, Tuipulotu and Owe playing together for years, pressuring quarterbacks, dominating the line of scrimmage, and being the core of a revamped defense. Meanwhile, the front office strengthens the roster around them. This isn't just a dream, it's a real plan that's already being discussed internally. Jim Harbaugh knows exactly the value of players like him. Young, disciplined, intelligent, and explosive. That's how great defenses are built. And now, while the defense has a promising future, the offense faces something completely different, an immediate urgency. And all of this leads us to the third and most important point of the story. Fans, pay attention here because this could completely change Justin Herbert's future and therefore the Chargers' future. If nothing extraordinary happens in the final stretch, one thing is already clear within the franchise. The Chargers' offensive line needs to be rebuilt urgently. And when I say rebuilt, I don't mean adjustments, patching, or makeshift solutions. It's a revolution. The most glaring problem? Center Bradley Bozeman. According to Pro Football Focus, Bozeman is simply the worst center in the NFL in 2025. And the drop in OL production isn't just about injuries. Joe Alt and Rashawn Slater got injured, okay, but the signings of the last 2 years have been a disaster. Bozeman, Andre James, Mekhi, Becton, Austin, Deculus. None of them delivered what the Chargers needed, and that's killing the offense. It's reducing Herbert's potential and destroying the running game. But now, a perfect name emerges on the horizon. Connor McGovern, center for the Buffalo Bills. Top 12 in the league in overall rating. Top 9 in pass protection. And entering free agency. The Bills have a huge problem. Only $8.7 million in projected salary cap space. McGovern is expected to receive somewhere between $14 to $16 million per year. In other words, they'll hardly be able to keep him. The Chargers, on the other hand, have over $112 million in projected cap space. And more. If Bozeman is cut, that represents only $1 million in cap impact. Almost nothing. In other words, McGovern is accessible. McGovern is needed. McGovern is the best center available on the market. And the Chargers have the money, the need, and the urgency to close this signing. This would be the first step in rebuilding Herbert's protection and reopening the path for Omarian Hampton to shine in 2025. And now, everything starts to connect. Hampton can return now, but he won't be able to run if the offensive line continues the way it is. Tuipulotu is becoming a key piece of the defense for 2025, exactly when the offense should undergo structural rebuilding on the offensive line. McGovern could be the signing that completely changes Herbert's life and restores balance to the offense, allowing Hampton and McConkey to perform to their full potential. It's all part of a larger movement within the Chargers. The team is being reconfigured for the future, while still fighting in the playoffs in the present. The Chargers may be at the beginning of a new, more physical, more disciplined, and finally, more balanced phase. And that's it, fans. The situation in Los Angeles is heating up, and if there's one thing that became clear today, it's that the Chargers are living through a decisive moment. The future is being shaped now, while the present still demands quick answers. If you enjoy this type of exclusive content, clearly explained and made especially for the Bolt Nation, leave a like, because it greatly helps the channel reach more fans. And of course, subscribe so you don't miss any updates about our Los Angeles Chargers.